Understanding the intricacies of the human mind has long fascinated philosophers, psychologists, and everyday thinkers. When it comes to the feminine psyche, this curiosity intensifies, often surrounded by layers of myth, emotion, and societal constructs. From Plato's ideal forms to modern cognitive science, one theme remains constant: the mind, especially the woman's mind, is multifaceted, emotionally rich, and intuitively profound. This video explores how to understand, appreciate, and live harmoniously with women of differing mindsets. We weave through historical philosophies, cultural insights, and practical wisdom to offer you a pathway to build better relationships based on empathy, mutual respect, and emotional intelligence. The first step to understanding women, and indeed anyone, is to appreciate the uniqueness of their inner world. Plato spoke of ideal forms as the perfect, abstract representations of things we experience in the physical world. Apply this thought to relationships, and it reminds us that no single definition of womanhood exists. Each woman is her own cosmos, her own version of reality molded by upbringing, environment, personality, and experiences. In the dialogues of Socrates, we learn the importance of questioning without judgment. This same method is essential when trying to connect with a woman whose thoughts may seem elusive. Instead of imposing your framework, ask questions that allow her to reveal her internal landscape. Socrates didn't ask questions to trap. He asked them to reveal deeper truths. In this way, approach a woman's mind not as a puzzle to be solved, but a reality to be explored. Many people mistakenly seek shortcuts in understanding others. Categories, stereotypes, and surface-level behaviors. But understanding a person deeply requires philosophical patience. Jean-Paul Sartre's existentialism teaches that people are not defined by labels, but by choices and freedom. Women, too, are navigating their essence through a multitude of roles. Daughter, partner, mother, professional. Each role overlapping and evolving. In practice, this philosophical awareness teaches us to listen without the urge to fix. When a woman speaks, she's not always seeking solutions. Often, she seeks understanding. A silent affirmation that her emotions and perceptions are valid. This subtle, yet significant distinction helps prevent miscommunication. Think of Confucian philosophy, where harmony is key. Confucius emphasizes empathy, self-reflection, and the moral duty of understanding others to achieve social harmony. Apply this idea in your daily life, and your interactions with women will be guided by respect, attentiveness, and grace. Harmony isn't the absence of conflict, but the presence of understanding. Lastly, consider the power of presence. Philosophers like Heidegger spoke of being in the world, a kind of grounded existence. To truly understand a woman's mind, you must be fully present. Listen not only to her words but to the silences, the pauses, the emotions behind the expressions. Such mindfulness invites deeper connection. Thus, the embracing a philosophical lens does not mean overcomplicating interactions. Rather, it means approaching relationships with reverence and curiosity. See every woman as a complete world, not in need of mapping, but in need of respectful visitation. When you enter that world with the humility of a learner, rather than the arrogance of a knower, relationships blossom with authenticity. Emotional intelligence, EI, plays a pivotal role in building a harmonious relationship. Unlike intellectual dominance, which aims to persuade or outwit, EI seeks to connect. The ability to recognize, understand, and manage not only your emotions, but also those of your partner creates a space of emotional safety. Women often process experiences through emotional lenses, not because they are less rational, but because they often value emotional resonance over analytical dissection. To navigate this, one must move beyond the need to be right and lean into being emotionally present. When a woman expresses frustration or concern, the goal isn't to counter it with logic, but to understand the emotional message behind it. Validate feelings instead of correcting facts. Say, "I understand this made you feel overlooked," rather than, "That's not what I meant." Daniel Goleman's work on EI reminds us that empathy is central. Practice active listening, nodding, eye contact, paraphrasing what was said, so the other person feels heard and understood. When emotional intelligence is applied, misunderstandings decrease, and the bond deepens. This doesn't mean suppressing your own thoughts. It means balancing expression with reception, creating a dialogue, not a debate. Just as tone matters as words, timing matters as much as tone. Responding with patience instead of impulse reflects emotional maturity, something most women instinctively appreciate. Cultivating EI involves introspection. Ask yourself after each interaction, did I hear her, or just listen? Did I acknowledge her emotions, or brush them aside? These questions anchor your growth and invite a new level of intimacy into the relationship. A woman's mind responds positively to emotional authenticity. Pretending to care never works. Instead, cultivate genuine concern. When a woman senses that you care, even if you disagree, the disagreement becomes an opportunity for growth rather than conflict. In sum, emotional intelligence fosters a two-way bridge of understanding, something no amount of intellectualism can replicate. Our thoughts, values, and emotional patterns are shaped over time through the lenses of family, society, media, and tradition. For women, societal conditioning often dictates behavioral expectations. Be nurturing, composed, selfless, while penalizing assertiveness or independence. Understanding this conditioning allows for deeper empathy and better communication. If a woman seems hesitant to express her needs or desires, it may not be insecurity but years of being told to prioritize others. Conversely, if she is assertive, it might be her reclaiming agency in a world that tried to mute her voice. Recognizing this context helps to avoid misjudging her behavior. From Simone de Beauvoir's The Second Sex to contemporary feminist thinkers, we learn that womanhood is not biologically fixed, but socially constructed. This means a woman's mindset isn't solely personal. It's also a product of cultural programming. Thus, it's crucial not to impose your expectations or labels on her responses. Instead, learn to understand the origins of her thinking. When you understand these layers, you begin to listen differently. You hear not just what's being said, but also what history has influenced it. It fosters compassion and patience, vital components in any relationship. Moreover, this recognition enables you to challenge your own biases. We've all been conditioned in various ways, men and women alike. When both partners recognize and question this conditioning, the relationship transforms into a mutual space for healing and growth. A woman raised in a conservative environment may value modesty and loyalty. Another, raised in a liberal society, may prize independence and exploration. Neither is right or wrong, just different. Learn her context, and you'll learn to love more completely. Trust is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. But trust is not built by control. It grows through open communication. Many conflicts stem from the desire to manage or monitor the other person, often fueled by insecurity. However, attempting to control a woman's actions, thoughts, or choices damages not only trust but also self-worth. Instead, foster an environment where honest conversations are welcomed. When a woman feels safe to express, without fear of judgment or retaliation, she shares more deeply. This depth builds intimacy. Philosophically, Martin Buber spoke of the through relationship, one where both individuals see and respect each other as whole beings. In contrast, lit relationships treat the other as an object to be managed. Shift your interactions from I, it to I, thou, and control gives way to connection. Practically, this means having regular, intentional dialogues, not interrogations, but invitations to speak and be heard. How are you feeling about us lately? Is a far more meaningful question than, where were you? Women's minds often operate on emotional undercurrents. She might notice your tone, mood, or energy before your words. Be aware of the atmosphere you create. Transparency and consistency in words and actions eliminate the need for control. Also, respect her autonomy. If she chooses something you wouldn't, instead of reacting with resistance, respond with curiosity. Ask why it matters to her. This opens dialogue and deepens trust. Ultimately, control is about fear, communication is about faith. Choose the latter. Change is the only constant in life, and a successful relationship honors this truth. Women, like all human beings, evolve. Their dreams, fears, roles, and responses shift over time. Instead of resisting these changes, embrace them as opportunities to grow together. From Aristotle's idea of the good life being a life of growth and purpose, we learn that flourishing comes through virtue and adaptation. Relationships that stagnate under rigid expectations often fail. Those that bend evolve. A woman's mind at 20 is not the same at 30, 40, or 50. Life experience, motherhood, career paths, health challenges, all reshape her worldview. If you are truly invested, you must be willing to understand her anew, again and again. This requires openness, a willingness to unlearn and relearn. Ask her what inspires her now. Support her goals even if they're different from the past. Encourage self-discovery and share your own. Growth also involves making space. Sometimes, loving her means stepping back to let her explore, not clinging out of fear. And when she returns with new insight, meet her with joy, not judgment. In turn, you two should grow. Let the relationship be one where both evolve without outgrowing each other. Keep curiosity alive. Continue to date her. Even after years together, rediscover each other. Change isn't a threat. It's an invitation. Accept it together, and your relationship becomes a living, breathing, ever beautiful thing. In the grand journey from Plato's idealism to modern emotional realism, the key to understanding the mind of a woman lies not in mastery but in mindfulness. Each woman you encounter brings a different rhythm, a different language of emotion, a different universe of thoughts. Living happily with women of different mindsets is not about having all the answers. It's about being open to questions. It's about listening, adapting, respecting, and above all, appreciating the beauty of diversity in thought and emotion. When we discard the urge to simplify and embrace the richness of complexity, we don't just understand women better, we become better human beings. So approach with kindness, stay curious, and let the journey of connection be a shared path, paved with patience, love, and understanding.